All right, let's get into it. Fine 5, ugly 5. Who are the 5 best, 5 worst teams in the NFL? Ugly 5, number 5. Who you got?
I got a lot of movement this week. I got the Texans at 5. The whole situation with Bill O'Brien, I don't think on paper they should be horrendous 0-4, but organizationally they're very ugly right now. J.J. Watt apparently screaming at Bill O'Brien. It's just a mess, and they have no identity. They have the franchise quarterback, which is huge. That's what you need. But I don't think this team is a horrendous 0-4 team. Now, you brought this up in the past. Their schedule early on, tough schedule. No doubt about it. But I also can't deny how ugly they are from an organizational standpoint at the moment. They make my 5.
Dallas is number 5 for me, and I don't care what the Cowboy fans say. Their defense is so bad, they deserve to be on this list. I like their offense. They've scored 126 points, which is, I believe, third best in the NFC behind Seattle and Green Bay. But their defense is so bad, they deserve to be on this list. Mike Nolan, it's a fireable offense. I'm sorry. At the quarter pole of the season, if a head coach can get fired for ineptitude, I think Nolan should be on the hot seat. And maybe even McCarthy with that defense. He hired Nolan.
You get rid of him already? Bring back Jason Garrett?
I can't. If I'm Dallas and I have that offense scoring 126 points in 4 games, which is great, I can't have that defense. Somebody let me down. That's why you're on my ugly 5.
All right, fair point. My number 4? The Atlanta Falcons.
Same.
They lost again. Now, granted, I didn't think that they were going to win that game, but just the fact that they lost the previous weeks the way that they did, and now it has snowballed into this wild 0-4 start. That coach needs to go. Bill O'Brien, he was the first coach to go. Crazy to think about with Adam Gase out there and with what's happening with Atlanta. It's unfortunate that Matt Ryan's career is ending in this way because I'm actually a Matt Ryan fan. I like his career, but it's ending in a horrendous way here. They got to be on your, list.
They're on it. They were 5 last week. They bumped up to 4 this week. Lost 4 in a row, 138 points. Their defense is just as bad as freaking Dallas's is. In fact, I'm wrong. Dallas is 146. Atlanta's 130. They're in the same boat. They can score just like Dallas can. Fireable offense. Quinn deserves to be fired. He's got to get out of there.
He shouldn't even been here to start the season. You know?
Really shouldn't. Dallas and Atlanta don't have ugly 5 talent. They have ugly 5 heart. That's why they're in my ugly 5. Dallas 5, Atlanta 4. Numero tres.
I got the Washington football team.
Ooh.
They're already moving on from Dwayne Haskins to bring in Kyle Allen. The organization is a nightmare. And you thought with Ron Rivera, it would change
things. I think
Rivera's
going with a guy he feels comfortable with.
Right. Yeah, you can see that, no doubt.
But the message is clear. We're done.
Yep. Already. Now, look, who do you put the blame on there? I mean, here's a new head coach.
Now they're going to be in play for Lawrence.
Right. Exactly. But you can't, like Dwayne Haskins, it's part of a whole different regime. You can't be mad at Ron Rivera, but just with where they're at now, it's a mess.
It's a move, though.
Yeah, I don't think Dwayne Haskins.
That's why they didn't make my ugly 5, because I actually thought they put their big boy pants on and made a grown-up decision.
Oh, so they made your fine 5.
They're not there yet, but number 3 for me is Houston. You fire your coach. What happened with the coach and him and J.J. Watt? I mean, what's that whole story? I mean, you heard Clayton talk about it earlier. They just didn't. I mean, it had to happen. You trade Hopkins, you're 0-4. I mean, by the way, their defense is awful, too. 126. They can't score because, by the way, they gave up DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of peanut shells. Houston, 0-4. They're a minus 46. You fire your coach 4 games in. Season's lost. You signed your quarterback, so you're not even in play for Lawrence. It's a freaking waste of a season.
Well, if you have Deshaun Watson, would you even be interested in Trevor Lawrence?
You just signed him.
I know, but I'm just saying in general, let's throw the contract out the window. You have Deshaun Watson. Would you even move on from him for Lawrence? Because if I'm that team, I'm trading that. If let's say you get the first overall, you trade it for assets to help out Deshaun Watson. Because people would give up a bunch to go get Trevor Lawrence. That's the way I would handle it. All right, my number 2, the New York Giants. They stink. Are they the worst team in the NFC?
Well, I think we both have the same 2, I would imagine.
Yeah, Jets, Giants?
Yeah. They're going to be 1-2 all year.
The Jets lost to the Broncos. The Broncos.
At home.
Who was their quarterback again? Rippin. Right?
Yeah.
3 interceptions. Still won the game.
They're starting Flacco this week, the Jets.
That's right. You tried to get some odds on that earlier.
+7 and see if it moved.
Let's see if it moved. Let's see where the money went.
Giants, the Giants are terrible. It's just.
Would you move on from Daniel Jones?
Um.
Let's not pretend because no one's denying that if you can get Lawrence, he's too much of a prospect to look away from. But Daniel Jones in general, take away Lawrence. How do you feel about him?
I don't hate Jones. I can honestly say the Giants have been so bad. I haven't watched enough of him to really say fair or unfairly whether he turns the ball over way too much. That I know.
He feels like a poor man's Josh Allen, but it seems like Josh Allen kind of pushed himself over the edge. Is it possible that Daniel Jones
Allen's
does
better
that?
than him. Allen's got a much stronger
I
arm.
said
He's more athletic.
Poor man's. Poor man's.
Really poor.
Yeah.
I mean,
poor man's.
You're giving him a lot of credit. Yeah. He's not in the same.
Josh Allen wasn't really this is the first year we look at Josh Allen with this different vibe. So
yeah, but the thing that you liked
years.
about Allen was he had this huge arm.
Definitely.
And he was just inaccurate. And he could run. He was an athlete. I don't think Jones can run like him. He doesn't have an arm like him. I don't see a lot of similarities there. That's just me.
I said a poor man's version of him. Well, that's the way I see it. Poor man's.
I think he's a poor man's Eli is what I think.
No, he's got more athleticism than Eli.
Poor man's, I said.
Touche, my friend. Touché.
All right, that's the ugly five. Giants and Jets 1 and 2. I got Houston 3, Atlanta 4, Dallas 5. You have 3 NFC East. No, you have 2 NFC East teams, and I have 2 NFC East. It's just funny that we have 2 different NFC East teams. We have 3 of the 4.
It's because you're respecting the professionalism of Washington.
Finally, they had some profession. Somebody finally stepped up and did something there that made sense. The quarterback can't play.
It's funny. I actually liked him at Ohio State, though. I thought his arm might be able to work.
He might go someplace else. This is the same situation that we talked about with whoever it was. Was it Darnold? We were talking about
Sam Darnold. Yep.
If he went to another team, it was the backup for Brady, or if he was the backup for Roethlisberger or Rivers for a year, and then took over. That's what you do with Haskins. All right, fine 5. 5 best teams in the NFL. This is hard. 5 best right now. Number 5. I got.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go Buffalo.
So did I.
I had a nice wing last night and said, man, those Buffalo wings are good. Now, Buffalo, Allen, defense, they won on the road. I doubted that they were going to be able to win on the road last week. They were a road favorite, and they won. They won handily. They beat that Raiders team up pretty good.
I also went with the Bills. I do have a fear, though, because last year, the Ravens were phenomenal all season long. They got to the postseason. They had the bye. Didn't end well. Last year in the postseason, Josh Allen, remember all those crazy plays he was trying to make? He tried to do way too much. Things got ugly.
Diggs makes a big difference for them.
Oh, big time. I was just going to bring that up. The acquisition of Diggs is helping him out tremendously. I hope they're just not this regular season type team where Josh Allen struggles heavily in the postseason. But as for now, they're playing great football, and I like what Sean McDermott has done. I'm going with the Bills at 5.
All right, number 4.
Green Bay.
Wow.
You don't have Green Bay.
They're on my list.
Okay. I got the Green Bay Packers at 4. I love Aaron Rodgers on this mission. I mean, I talked about this before after that Monday night game. He just has a smile on his face. Guys having fun. He's torching guys up left and right. He just shows up, and it happens. It's like he's just playing backyard football, slinging the rock around.
I go Baltimore, and I put him in this spot. I mean, you saw the news today. Lamar Jackson missed practice with the knee. I think Baltimore is probably better than this right now, but they beat Washington last week, so I'm not going to give them a whole heck of a lot of prop points. My top 4 is exactly the same as last week. I put Buffalo over Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh didn't play, and Buffalo got the 4-0. So that's really the difference. Baltimore stays at 4. They beat Washington last week. Not impressive enough for this voter.
Okay. I got Seattle at 3.
Me too.
I got the Ravens at 2 and the Chiefs at 1.
Yeah, I go Seattle 3. That defense worries me, though. They got no pass rush in their secondary. Bush.
Yeah, the pass rush is pretty brutal.
Their offense is good, though. Really good.
Very good.
Yeah, I got Pack 2. Too high?
No, I don't think so. It's fair. They're playing really solid, though. Does their defense scare you?
Defense is just okay. It's not – I mean, they've given up 101. To put it in perspective, Philadelphia's given up 107. And they played Washington, Cincinnati, and Mullins. What was the other team they played?
This is pretty sad.
Rams.
Okay.
Yeah. Green Bay's defense worries me a bit. 152, though.
Not as close as Seattle's would.
Seattle, giving up 109. They've scored 142. You can make an argument that, well, the argument is Green Bay's better. That's why I have them higher. They've scored more. They've given up less. They're better. They're plus 51. In fact, plus 51 is the best in the entire league.
This is why I think it fascinates me talking about head coaches and quarterbacks in this league and the duo of the two. How much stock do you put in Matt LaFleur being this genius?
I think he's just a good offensive-minded coach. I think Rodgers buys into him. You got to keep Rodgers happy. What did Rodgers say yesterday on McAfee's show? My down years, career years for others. Right?
Yeah. I also heard that he plays jokes on him a little bit, like he pretends as if he can't hear through his helmet. And he's like, I don't know what play you're calling. And you're like, you worry about that, yet it's Aaron Rodgers. He goes up to the line.
What happened with that happened with
when the
Wilson last week. The microphone, the speaker in his helmet went off, so he just called the plays himself.
Well, I would probably be okay if that's the case, but if it's Dwayne Haskins, you can't hear a thing, you're going, uh-oh.
Absolutely.
What type of play do you think he'd do? Have a nice little halfback draw?
Him and McLaurin were supposed to be like, the two Ohio State guys on the same page.
What do you think? They get the football and he draws the play like you're playing in the backyard? Like, all right, my headset doesn't work, McLaurin, you're going to go here and make a post pattern. You know how you play with the football? You draw it on the little football?
Sure.
What do we do here? I don't know. Grab the football. Let's make a play.